The political landscape of the United States has been dramatically reshaped. President Joe Biden announced he will not seek re-election in 2024. This decision has sent shockwaves through the Democratic Party. It has left a void in the upcoming presidential race. The 2024 election was already poised to be a pivotal moment in American history. Now, with Biden out of the running, the stakes have been raised even higher. The Democratic Party must now confront internal divisions. They need to find a candidate who can unite the party and inspire voters. The Republican Party, meanwhile, senses an opportunity. They are energized by the prospect of retaking the White House. The battle for the soul of America is about to enter a new and uncertain chapter. The outcome of this election will have profound consequences. It will impact not only the United States, but also the entire world. The future hangs in the balance as the nation braces itself for a tumultuous election year. In the corridors of power, whispers have grown louder. Dr. Umar, a prominent figure, has hinted at unseen forces shaping the political landscape. Some point to the influence of shadowy groups like the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, and the Council on Foreign Relations. These organizations, composed of elite figures from the worlds of politics, business, and media, are often accused of wielding undue power and shaping global agendas. Critics argue that these groups operate in secrecy. They prioritize the interests of the powerful over the needs of the people. Their meetings, held behind closed doors, fuel speculation and conspiracy theories. Are they simply forums for discussion among influential individuals, or do they represent a more nefarious concentration of power? The existence of these groups and their potential influence raises unsettling questions about the nature of democracy itself. Is the United States truly governed by the will of the people? Or are there unseen forces pulling the strings? As the 2024 election approaches, these questions take on added urgency. The American people deserve transparency. They need to know who is shaping their future. Barack Obama's legacy looms large over the Democratic Party. Even in retirement, his influence is undeniable. Some speculate that Obama is playing a behind-the-scenes role in shaping the party's future, particularly in light of Biden's decision not to seek re-election. Obama's endorsement carries significant weight among Democratic voters. His opinion could sway the outcome of the primaries. Is he using his influence to push the party in a particular direction, perhaps towards a candidate more aligned with his own vision? The relationship between Obama and Biden has always been complex. While they presented a united front during their time in office, their political ideologies have diverged on certain issues. Is Obama now seeking to steer the party away from Biden's more moderate approach and towards a more progressive agenda? The question of Obama's influence is likely to be a source of both intrigue and controversy as the 2024 election cycle heats up. His every move will be scrutinized for clues about his true intentions. Joe Biden's decision to withdraw from the 2024 presidential race sent shockwaves through the political establishment. While his approval ratings had been steadily declining, many assumed he would seek a second term. His sudden departure has fueled speculation about the true reasons behind his decision. Some whisper that Biden's exit was not entirely his own choice. They point to the immense pressure he faced from within his own party. The Democratic establishment, they argue, was eager to find a more electable candidate. They saw Biden as a liability, particularly given his age and declining cognitive abilities. Others speculate that Biden was pressured to step aside by powerful forces outside the Democratic Party. They point to the influence of corporate lobbyists, special interest groups, and even foreign governments. These entities, they argue, have a vested interest in shaping the outcome of the election. They saw Biden as an obstacle to their own agendas. Whether Biden's decision was truly his own or the result of external pressure, one thing is clear. His departure has created a power vacuum within the Democratic Party. The race to fill that vacuum is likely to be fierce and divisive. Section 5. The Democratic Party in disarray. A struggle for a new standard-bearer. With Biden out of the race, the Democratic Party finds itself at a crossroads. The search for a new standard-bearer has begun, and with it comes a period of intense soul-searching. the party must confront deep divisions within its ranks. They need to articulate a clear vision for the future. The progressive wing of the party, energized by figures like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is demanding bold action on issues like climate change, income inequality, and racial justice. They argue that the party must embrace a more transformative agenda. They believe it is the only way to defeat the Republican Party. The moderate wing of the party, however, is wary of alienating centrist voters. They favor a more cautious approach, focusing on incremental progress and compromise. They argue that a radical agenda will only serve to energize the Republican base. The Democratic Party must find a way to bridge this divide. They need to find a candidate who can appeal to both the base and the center. Failure to do so could have disastrous consequences in the 2024 election. Section 6. The Republican counterpart, Trump's triumphant return, and the specter of global unrest. While the Democratic Party grapples with uncertainty, the Republican Party appears to be coalescing around a familiar figure, Donald Trump. Despite facing multiple indictments and a legacy of chaos, Trump remains a potent force in American politics. His grip on the Republican base appears as strong as ever. Trump's potential return to the White House sends chills down the spines of many, both in the United States and abroad. His presidency was marked by a disdain for democratic norms, an embrace of authoritarianism, and a reckless approach to foreign policy. Trump's re-emergence on the world stage would have profound implications for global stability. His unpredictable nature and his penchant for brinkmanship would likely exacerbate existing tensions. It could lead to new conflicts. His America First agenda would further alienate allies. It could undermine international cooperation. The prospect of a second Trump presidency is a frightening one for many. It represents a return to a dark chapter in American history. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy. Section 7. Unmasking the illusion. The public's need to see the real power dynamics. The political theater that plays out on our television screens and social media feeds often feels like a carefully constructed illusion. We are presented with a binary choice between two parties. In reality, the true power dynamics are far more complex and opaque. Behind the scenes, a vast network of lobbyists, special interest groups, and wealthy donors exert enormous influence over the political process. They donate to campaigns, they shape policy agendas. They work tirelessly to advance their own interests, often at the expense of the public good. The mainstream media, often complicit in this charade, focuses on the horse race aspects of politics. They obsess over polls and personalities, while ignoring the systemic forces that shape our lives. The result is a citizenry that is ill-informed and disengaged, easily manipulated by fear and division. To reclaim our democracy, we must first pierce the veil of illusion. We must educate ourselves about the real power dynamics at play. We must demand transparency and accountability from our elected officials. We must hold them responsible for serving the interests of the people, not the powerful. Section 8. The Black community at a crossroads, navigating a political landscape. Rife with injustice. The Black community in America has long been subjected to systemic racism and discrimination. From the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow to the ongoing struggles against police brutality, mass incarceration, and voter suppression, Black Americans continue to face formidable obstacles to equality and justice. The political landscape, often reflecting these deep-seated inequalities, offers little solace. Both the Democratic and Republican parties have a long history of exploiting and marginalizing Black voters. They offer empty promises while failing to deliver meaningful change. The Black community stands at a crossroads. Disillusioned with the political establishment, many are seeking alternative paths to liberation. Some are turning to grassroots organizing, community building, and economic empowerment. Others are demanding a more radical transformation of society, one that dismantles systemic racism and creates a truly just and equitable world. The struggle for Black liberation is a struggle for the soul of America. It is a struggle that demands our attention, our solidarity, and our unwavering commitment to justice.